What is your name?
Elaine. Bishop, today I have been a member of the Universal Church for 30 years. When I was 23 years, that is 7 years ago, I complained about the fast of Daniel, I complained about tithing, I complained all the time, but not inside the church. I used to grumble along with my family because, here's the thing, I was an assistant of the church, but inside the church it was all just a facade. I was the goody two-shoes, doing God's work perfectly. But when I got home, it was all grumbling. See, what for? Campaign of Israel once or twice a year. What's the point of all that? Just one campaign of Israel in a lifetime is enough all the time. Does complaining bring a curse? That's a fact because my life from that point on was nothing but defeat. Why? I complained. What happened? I ended up meeting the guy, I got emotionally involved with him, and I ended up falling. I was removed from my position as a church assistant, and everything I had never done in my life I started doing. I got involved. This guy was a drug user, and I ended up getting involved with people who use drugs, which I never thought I would do. I would go in the selling drugs place to buy drugs. I started drinking various types of alcoholic beverages. I had never been involved with spiritualism before, but I started going to fortune tellers, spiritualist centers, all in search of peace. And on one of my visits to the Spiritist Center, while I was sitting there, a thought came to my mind saying, "You're going to consult with that entity that you once expelled from people's lives." At that very moment, Bishop, I grabbed my bag, took my daughter, stood up, and made the decision. Right then and there I said, "From today on, I will never do that again. I'm going to truly, genuinely surrender myself to God." Why? Despite living in the church for 23 years, I wasn't truly converted. I thought I had the Holy Spirit. I was deluded. So I started seeking Him. I started participating in deliverance services, and I was set free. What I used to say badly about the campaign of Israel, I've reversed. What I used to say badly about tithing, the first thing I did when I returned to the church was say, "Lord, I will be faithful. I want to be faithful." I returned to my faithfulness in tithing. I started participating in the campaign of Israel. But this last one, I did differently. I didn't ask for anything material. I said, "Holy Spirit, you know everything I need. I don't have anything to ask for. You already know." So I did this prayer in December, and God has already been opening doors. And then I heard a message from Bishop Macedo, and he spoke a lot about forgiveness. Then Bishop Macedo said, "Wherever you are now, kneel down and ask the Holy Spirit to show you who you need to forgive." So I knelt down, and all the people who had hurt me started coming to mind. At my job, there were people who plotted against me, and I felt so much hatred, not even resentment, just hatred. I was filled with rage. So at that moment, I started saying each of their names out loud. "I forgive so-and-so, so-and-so." I kept saying them, and then I said, "Holy Spirit, is there anyone else?" Then my mother came to mind because, in reality, I suffered throughout my childhood and youth. My mother didn't just hit me, she beat me. And because of my involvement with this guy, my mother came to talk to me, to exhort me, and I was upset. So my mother ended up kicking me and my daughter out of the house. That created a resentment that I didn't realize. Then I said, "Oh my God, is that really happening?" He said, "Yes." And then I said, "What should I do?" I went to my mother and said to her, "Mom, I want to ask for your forgiveness for everything I did wrong to you." Then my mother turned to me. She was startled because I had never asked for forgiveness. I was always a rebellious daughter, Bishop. Everything my mother told me to do, I did the opposite. But at that moment, she took my hand and said, "I'm the one who should ask for forgiveness. I forgive you, my daughter." That moment, Bishop, I can tell you, and everyone here, was liberating. It was like a very heavy burden was lifted from my shoulders. It set me free. I felt light. From that day on, everything changed in my life. I began to seek the Holy Spirit very intensely, and the Holy Spirit came upon me. Everything changed. My financial life, which was tied up, changed. I'm a lawyer, I'm a nurse, so my clients in the legal field were meager, very few clients. Clients started coming in, and one would call another. I never advertised my area of expertise, never. But one client would come, then another and another and another, and today I can't handle it all. Today I had to call my sister to help, since she's also a lawyer, to deal with so many clients. God has already blessed me in my love life. God has put man of God in my life. We're getting married this year, so God has transformed things. And my mother, who now has Alzheimer's, I take care of her. Regarding complaining, today I talk to people about it. If I see someone complaining, I tell them, "Don't do that, because complaining brings curses to your life, just as it did to mine one day." So today I am transformed. Everything has changed.
God bless you much more.